You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're
Hey,
great.
Derek.
Are we gonna have nicknames for each other each episode?
You're
I think
great.
we should.
You're great.
I'm Underboob. That's the original. That's the OG. So you're Nev Nips. I'm Underboob.
Oh wait, let's not give away the studio production value we have here.
It's pretty low.
You're probably going to sing anyway, so you might as well just use
That's
that
a
part,
good
you
point.
know? That sounds about right. You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
Just
We
here
get a
hitting mics, myself
little
and my
clip
microphone.
out of that. That's good.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Hug Life Podcast. I am Monica. Does not hit Mike's Nevy.
And I am my clumsy fella, Coletta.
Clumsy fella, falling over for no reason, just for funsies.
Welcome to our podcast. It's wonderful. And we haven't heard from you in a couple weeks. That's great. This is our
Back on-
voices.
Back on the old 2-week schedule. Hey, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Where are you going to be for stand-up comedy this week?
This week for stand-up comedy, Friday, I will be at the Auburn Avenue Theater in Washington with Brad Upton.
Ooh.
The next day, I will be at the Seasons Theater in Yakima on the Saturday, also with Brad Upton. That is available online too to stream. So if you're not in the area, it's on my website. And on Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, I'm doing a fundraiser virtual show for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, which if you've been around for a while is something that's very close to me. And they asked me to do a little set for them before the other show. So I'm doing it. So if you can, if you're not able to come to the live shows quite yet, this is a good opportunity to see some stand up, but also donate to a very good cause that we'll talk about again during the charity time. And then next weekend, Thursday through Saturday, I am at the Helium Comedy Club in Portland, Oregon.
Ooh, I love Helium. It's a great place to go.
Jeff Dye.
With Jeffrey Dye.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you he loves that name. All right. Hey, I have a show this Friday. That's right. Papa's doing shows again. Can I call myself Papa? Is that okay to say?
Yeah, you already did. So,
Too late now. Well, I will be I'm producing my show at Four Horsemen Brewing in Covington, Washington.
Yeah.
Gabriel Rutledge is headlining it. It's going to be
Nice.
great. We have tickets available, but they are going. Like they're moving, which is exciting.
Yeah, get on there.
And we're
That's
at
a good
limited
show.
capacity. So you should definitely pick up your tickets. I think you can just
Is
buy
it
them
still
on
outside?
It's still outdoors. They've
Nice.
opened up a little bit more seating because they've opened up the tent because it's going to be really nice weather on Friday too. So
Nice. Oh, that'd
yeah.
be a fun show. Get
I
in
don't
there.
even know if we're going to need lighting, honestly, now that I think about it. Like it might just be a day
What time
show.
is the?
Like 7.
Oh, yeah, you'll probably be fine actually.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't even know if we need lighting even under a tent. It's going to be great. But yeah. And you go and you get tickets, you get a free appetizer too, which is kind of neat.
Oh, that's a
Mhm.
good- look at that.
Yeah. And I'm there. And then the week after that, I am at the Friday. The Wednesday after that, I'm at Vino Bella in Issaquah, Washington, featuring for Andy Woodhull. And then the Friday, a week from this Friday, I am in Enumclaw at the Chalet Theater with Susan Rice, who I
There
have
you
not worked
go.
with in so long. And I'm so excited to watch.
She's great. Really,
so
really,
funny.
Really good. If you've never seen her and you are in that area, go check out the Chalet Theater. Susan Rice. Very good.
Yeah. All right, Monica.
Yes.
Do you want to do some plugs for the show itself? Like some things we
Sure.
say? What do you want to lead us
What
off with
we
the show
always say.
plugs?
Yeah. Well, if you're on Apple Podcasts, you can rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. That's very helpful. If you're on Spotify or something else, I know you can follow the podcast. Do whatever you're supposed to do. Give us a review if you haven't already. 5 stars. Wonderful, wonderful. Look at that. You can also go to huglifepodcast.com or monicanevy.com. There's an Amazon banner on those websites. You click right on there and then you shop. You get whatever. I got a new edger for the yard. It's wonderful. And then we get a little kickback, which helps us pay for all this stuff to continue to make this wonderful podcast of 6 years.
Oh, I have a story I need to tell you regarding the edger and yard
Okay.
work. Okay. Also, you think you can do is you can go to patreon.com/huglifepodcast, donate $1 and you get a new episode every month, a bonus episode. this month was really fun. We were kind of
Yeah.
silly. It was a good time.
But it's up there now. So for April, technically. But
yeah, sometimes they come out a little like the month later, but it's always like
around at the end.
Yeah, you know what it is. It's fine. And it's labeled correctly. Sometimes they're not, but this time it was. So you can do that. Also, if you like art, our dear friend Danny Dodge at Studio Dodge on Instagram or studiododge.com is her website. Shop there, buy her art. We'd really appreciate it. We also have an Instagram account at Hug Life Podcast. We post cute animal pictures. You can like them. Mm-hmm. And we also post people who've been on this very podcast, and we support them and we love them
and then
for what they do.
Pictures of us.
And sometimes pictures of us, but very rarely. All right, Monica, lexical embraces.
Yes.
I have 3.
Wow. I have 2.
Okay. Do I go first then?
Sure. You go first because you have too many.
1, zoning out while driving.
Okay.
But
Safely?
you're like in the zone, but you're driving, but your brain kind of turns off and you just start driving and you're focused on the road. You don't think about anything else. It's very meditative.
You don't really remember when you get there. You're like,
I don't even remember driving. Yeah, it happens a lot, but I feel safe when I do it. I'm driving safely. It's just, you're in the zone.
That's good. That's impressive.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now you go.
Okay. A good tax person to help you with your
that's
taxes.
A great one.
Someone who knows what they're doing. I had this experience last year when I switched my tax guy, and he just understood a lot more about what we do. And then my parents switched to the same guy and were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we've been working with that other guy for so long.
This guy just rips it. He knows what he's doing.
Shout out to good tax people.
Nice. Second one for me. Third one total.
Yes.
Dogs. Love them.
Dogs in general.
Just dogs. I hung out with a puppy this weekend.
Oh.
Her name is Ellie. Her full name is Ellie Belly Gumdrops. That's her full legal name. She's a beagle, and she's a biter.
Did she bark?
She did bark. She's a barker and a biter, but it's charming. It's puppy charming.
Everyone always says that about beagles, that they bark. But I had a beagle rat terrier, and he never barked unless, like, literally something was attacking him.
Well, they say that beagles take after their owners, and you're a very quiet person. So that's
true.
why.
Yep, that's probably
Which is why my dog just constantly screams. Just
very happy.
All right, what's your second one?
That's why your dog is a cat.
But my dog is not real.
Yeah. My second one is bowling. I went bowling for the first time.
How did you do?
Over a year. And pretty good. 152, 178. I felt pretty good about it. Yeah. And it was just fun. I was at Joker's, obviously. Because they have a bowling alley over there. And the guy who works behind the counter, super nice. His name is Cam. And he just thinks it's the greatest thing that I go over and bowl after my shows. So
he's like, wow, you're really into it, aren't you?
Well, and it's also like, it's like a thing. What you guys know that my family does. So it's nice that maybe we can start doing that again. Also, it's like a fun, Aaron and I would go when I didn't have shows and it was just us. It was like a thing. It's like a date thing. So it's nice that it's like allowed again,
Yeah, it's fun. I kind of want to go bowling now. You're kind of talking me into it.
It's a fun time.
What's sad now is in my 30s, I go bowling and I wake up the next morning and I'm sore.
Oh yeah, no, I was real.
My
sore.
forearm is sore from my throwing
butt
hand.
And my calves were sore, and I was like, I've been running. Like I don't know why.
It's just different muscles, right?
Different muscles for the
All right, so here's my final lexical embrace.
Okay.
Right, and it is thinking you broke something when really you didn't.
Oh, okay.
And so
do you mean
yesterday,
like on your physical body or
a piece of machinery is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
So I was mowing the lawn yesterday, and we have an electric mower, and I'm almost done. And I'm like going through, and the grass is kind of high because we've been growing new grass, so you can't really mow it for a while. You got to wait until it comes in, and then the mower just dies, and I'm like, fuck. And I like flip it over. It's an electric mower. I unplug it, flip it over, like unclog it, everything, and it still doesn't turn on. And I'm like, Katie, I think the mower's broken. I think I just busted the mower. And she's like, well, we got to go get it repaired. And then I'm like super bummed that I broke the mower, but you get over it. It's life, whatever. About 5 or 6 hours later, it's the middle of the night. And Katie's like, I think our lights in that power outlet you were using for the mower aren't working. And I just blew the fuse. So the lawnmower I think is working, but the fuse was blown.
Have you not tested it since then?
I haven't tested it yet because it was the middle of the night and I had to go to work today. So I was going to go mow after this and see if it works.
Oh yeah, I'm about to.
So like I wanted to go see if I can fix because it's seriously like one little patch of grass, and I'm just like I just need to wrap this out and then go
Oh
right into
man,
class.
that happened on Christmas. So like so we were up a little bit later. Aaron and I, we were staying at my parents' house, and my mom was like, "Oh, just turn off all the Christmas lights when you go to bed." So we did that, and we just like unplugged the Christmas lights. And then the next day, the internet wasn't working, and so for the whole day, we thought like their internet went out. They were checking like Comcast and stuff. They made an appointment for Comcast to come out the next day, and then we couldn't Zoom the family because the internet wasn't working.
Genius way to get
And
out of that, though.
come to find out, we just had unplugged it. Like when unplugging the
You
lights,
just unplugged
we just
everything?
unplugged everything.
Yeah,
And then thinking like they went and checked everything, and they were like, "Oh, we don't know what it is." So I figured they would have looked to make sure it was plugged in.
Nope.
It was like the strip, like the
power strip. Yeah.
the surge protector strip thing. But but I felt bad, like, "Oh, we broke your internet," but we didn't. We just unplugged it.
Sometimes you get a little hidden bonus.
I wish we had figured that out earlier in the day.
Yeah, that would have been nice because you can check your Facebooks and your stuff.
Oh yeah.
Gotta check my Christmas Facebook.
Hey, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas. You want to do the next segment?
Yes. Hey guys, good news.
Hi, welcome to the good news segment. It's me, Mike Coletta. I try to say as little words as possible when I do this now. I'm just like, hey, I'm Coletta. All right. I only have one story today. It's a good news story. Joe Biden approves nation's first major offshore wind farm. So I didn't know this, but did you know that the U.S. potentially could generate 2,000 gigawatts of energy just from offshore wind, which is almost nearly double the nation's current total electricity use?
No.
Mm-hmm. We could do offshore wind. Could be a thing. So they're making these offshore wind farms in it's the 84 turbines split between two locations, one near Martha's Vineyard coast and one near Nantucket, and it's $2.8 billion. And this could provide 800 megawatts of electricity, which is enough to power 400,000 homes.
Holy shit. Like that's wow. I mean, this is one of those where you go, well, why the fuck weren't we doing that before? But
yeah, so that's 800 megawatts. The US total could make 2,000 gigawatts. So that's only like 1/2000th of the potential energy that could be made from wind power. You know what I mean? Little under 1/2000th.
It is interesting because we have in Washington State, there's a lot of them in the middle of the state, but the coast is really windy. Get some shit out there, huh?
Yeah, and it also will create jobs, hopefully. Like I get excited when I see green energy stuff because it's going to help, even if we don't really know what the impact is going to be yet. I think it can't be worse than like coal, or you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
It's
definitely.
like, I think it's a good thing. So I'm pretty stoked about
a great thing.
This power. So that's pretty much it today. Really easy one, really quick.
Oh, hey guys, that was good news. Good, because I want to get to it's a little gossipy, honestly, but I want to get to
gossip time. Here we go.
I know we normally gossip on the Patreon episodes, so if you're not a member, you should be, because you'll get all the hot gossip.
It's gossip time.
I'm trying to figure out how to do this appropriately, because I do think we've positive spun like cancel culture before, but I think do we positive spin getting canceled, or
that sounds great to me.
Okay. So this is the drama literally from today. Which is funny because I just tweeted it, but I didn't like him anyways. So I don't really care that he's in trouble, but whatever. Tony Hinchcliffe, which the clip, it's funny because I spent the day kind of accidentally piecing this story together. The first thing I saw was Tammy Pescatelli, who I like, posted something like, you can't judge a comedian by a 15-second clip, like whatever. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Liked it, But then another comic from around here posted, this person's getting canceled for whatever. So then I went and looked at the clip, and it's Tony Hinchcliffe, who is known for shitting on people, right? And his podcast is called Kill Tony, and comics go up and then they just shit on them basically. he gets up after this guy in Austin, which I think is where he lives now. And it was an Asian guy named Peng Deng, if you want to look him up, because he seems like a nice dude.
Mm-hmm.
And he just starts being like, oh, this, he calls him the C word. Like, he is like, I couldn't understand anything he was saying. And like, does this Asian accent, like, just like really weird. I mean, yeah, really weird stuff. And I was kind of waiting for him to be like something redeeming, like, no, I'm just kidding, don't do that, but it never gets to that. And I don't know what happens after that clip, but the host guy, like, posted it and was like, you can't do that, like, this is messed up, and like upset about it, obviously. And so he's like getting in trouble for it, which I think it's hard to like, I don't like him. I don't think he's funny anyways,
Yeah,
it's like, what career are you?
I did a weekend with him and he was nice to me, but I'm
You're
like,
a white guy.
I mean, that's probably why, honestly. Like, you say that like it's
people
a joke,
changed his Wikipedia to say Tony Hinchcliffe is a super racist American comedian.
That's really funny, actually.
That's great. The internet is on it sometimes,
They really are. I mean, I just like, here's my thing. If you're going to do comedy like that, like, you're asking for this. Like,
that's true.
You're because one, it's obviously not creative. It's not funny. He has no redeeming qualities, but his whole thing is like, I'm going to be offensive and I'm going to be like, so I'm like, the thing was, he didn't do it in a clever way. Anthony Jeselnik is funny because he does offensive in a clever way. Like, and it's not like clearly a joke also, not just racial slurs or whatever he did. Like,
yeah, that's pretty much what it was, which was really weird. But the only real experience I had with him, we were on the patio at the Comedy Store waiting for Potluck, which is the open mic on Mondays. And it's like, 200 people sign up for 16 spots. That's a lot. But Kill Tony is after that. And so he came out and was like, just so you know, like, this is going on too, where you can get up on this show. And then, I have millions of listeners and blah, blah, blah. And like, it was just the way he talked about it. Like, you guys are idiots. You should be doing my show. And I was like, I don't like you. Like, he was just so demeaning for someone that I didn't feel like had grounds to stand on. And then when he did the roast battle on Comedy Central, he got destroyed and then got so butthurt, like, while he was on stage. And I was like, that's the whole point of this. Aren't you like the mean guy? You make fun of people and then somebody makes fun of you and you're like, ugh. Like, he got so upset about it.
He gives off strong crybaby vibes, but that might just be his face. Honestly,
crybaby, that's a good way to put it. I mean, he's got crybaby face with sociopath eyes, so it's
that's a rough combo. It's like combo breaker. I actually, because like thinking back on our weekend that I worked with him, and I don't feel like I can actually even know him after that weekend because he never fucking spoke. It was always like pleasantries. It was always like, hey man, I'm like, hey, and that was it. It was like we never talked about anything. He just sat on his phone.
Him at all. Yeah.
Like, it was just like, oh, one of those weekends, where you work with a comedian, they don't want to have interest in talking to you. I'm like, that's fine. Like, I'm fine with that. I don't mind,
Yeah, he just at that time too, when because he had a Netflix special come out, and I feel like he was riding pretty high on
that Netflix special was just weird. Like,
it wasn't great.
Yeah, it was just like, why is this a special? Like, if I recorded a special and I saw that and I wouldn't put it out. It just, maybe it's a quality control thing. Maybe you're just riding the wave, or he had people being like, oh, it's great, dude. Just put it out there.
And I think it's one of those things where like, if you're a Netflix, sometimes quality controls goes out the window with how many people are actually going to come and watch it. You know what I mean? So if they're playing up this like Kill Tony gets millions of listeners, whatever, which I don't think that's correct. I don't think it's millions, but still it's like a lot of listeners. Then they're like, oh, okay, we'll put your special up because there'll be some sort of, attention from it.
Maybe I'm an old man, but I did not hear about Kill Tony until I moved to Los Angeles and heard all the horror stories about it. They're like, oh, you got to try to do Kill Tony? I'm like, what the fuck is that? I don't know what you're talking about.
I had no idea what it was until we moved.
But there was like an army of open micers in LA trying to get on it, being like, this is my big break. And I'm like, oh, that's
definitely a thing.
That's upsetting. I also think the whole idea of a big break doesn't exist anymore in stand-up comedy. I think it's a long, slow endurance, mini breaks. just
Yeah.
over throughout time.
Well, I will say anything that ever feels like a break is not as satisfying as you think it is. So
Yeah. Also,
the
if you're
big
doing this
break doesn't.
if you're doing this to
really
get famous, you're in the wrong thing. You should go be musically talented or something, because you should go work on something else. You know,
should
make a sex tape or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the way you want to go. If
Yeah.
you're gonna be famous, do a sex tape or like a reality show, maybe.
Dude, you know what I heard? And when I say heard, I mean I read this. Apparently, Paris Hilton
Mhm.
knew what she was doing and was like acting that whole time when we were like in middle school, and she got like super famous with Nicole Richie. It was all like, I built this character of like being a ditzy blonde.
Well,
And
there's a newer documentary on YouTube about her. I would
that's
watch
probably
that
it.
if I
Then.
was
That's
you.
what I'm
Yeah.
hearing.
It's
Was that right, though?
basically it didn't make it, because we watched the whole thing. It doesn't make it sound like she was doing a character, but it does make it seem like she created the idea of a socialite. You know what I mean? Like that
okay.
being not a job, but kind of, you know what I mean? Like that actually being a thing, because before her, it wasn't, at least it wasn't popularized like that. You could be a socialite, but that you just be there. She made it her own thing. So it's her. But I mean, of course, if you're in the public eye, you're not yourself most of the time.
I missed it. I wanted her, like, the coolest thing in the world would be like when she'd be like, that's hot. You know, when something's good, like I must want Paris Hilton to tell me.
It was
That's
pretty
hot.
interesting. It's an interesting documentary. And then also, you know, she went through like there's some pretty traumatic stuff in there during that time. And I don't think anybody really knows about that. So it was worth watching. And it's just on YouTube. You could just watch it on YouTube.
This is the most upsetting thing, is like, these are like 18 and 19-year-old women that are just getting ripped apart by the entertainment industry. And it's really fucked up when you think about it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I understand that she was an heiress. You know what I mean? Like she's still already in an altered reality than you and I. But she's still a person.
I'm still a human being.
I'm still a human being. Okay. So what's good about getting canceled?
Good about getting canceled. One, you don't have to do anything anymore.
That's what I
okay.
was thinking.
You get a break. Time to relax. Time to go buy an Xbox. Live your life. Enjoy yourself.
Maybe whatever you get canceled for, you don't really want to be doing in the first place. So now he's like, oh, I don't want to be racist anymore. This is a perfect time to stop being racist.
Maybe Tony Hinchcliffe has hated comedy the last year and a half, and now he's going to get really into quilting or something. That'd be cool.
I could see that. Just angry quilts.
Just anger, fury quilting.
Just super racist.
Oh
quilts.
man, Quilt Tony. Have you listened to this new podcast, Quilt Tony?
Oh my God, turn it off.
Other reasons you'd want to get canceled. The great comeback. Everyone loves the comeback story.
That is true.
That's the thing.
True.
Every Will Ferrell movie in the early 2000s was about a comeback story. So you know people love that.
I feel like, because I was thinking about people who got canceled, you know.
Monica put air quotes with her fingers there, listener. You didn't see it.
Yeah. And I think there's just such a huge spectrum of reasons.
Of cancellations?
Yes. Like I totally agree with 80% of them, 90% probably. But some people deal with it better than others, or like didn't, you know what I mean? Like a Steve Ranazizi is someone I think of, because at this point he could also be a sexual predator. I don't know, but that's not what he got canceled for. He got canceled for lying about being in New York in 9/11. Like that was in a building, right?
Yeah.
And he like eventually told everybody, and then like was a great sport about it. Like he went on Roast Battle that same year afterwards and was like, yep, I know what's going to come. You know, I know what's going to happen and I'll take it. And that was just like the best way you could have dealt with being canceled. Now his circumstances are much different than a Louis C.K. or somebody, but I just liked the
honesty.
Yeah, the honesty, and then like the sense of humor about it a bit too. You know what I mean? Like he's a comic. He's supposed to be able to laugh and not in like that's, I think people's problem was that he wasn't there and there were people who were, you know, and so you're devaluing their experience, but he was honest about that too and was remorseful. But some of these other people just want to fight back so hard, where you're like, you have to at least acknowledge that you did something wrong.
Yeah, definitely. You got to be the person to be like, hey man, just apologize and move on with
Right.
your life.
And I don't really understand this. Like, I don't know if they're being directed to do so, but just the constant denial, like forever, of like, no, I never did anything wrong. I never did anything. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. And it's like,
The one
we
that got
have
me,
40 people saying that you did. Like,
the one that got me was Chris D'Elia and the video of him not realizing that Snapchats weren't deleted. The look on his face when he realized it, like you could screenshot it. He's like, huh? And you're like, it's gross. There's
just,
so many
yeah.
people too that like, yeah, Louis C.K. got canceled, but he's still touring.
Oh yeah, he's doing
just
fine.
He's just not going to be known as like one of the greatest stand-up comics of all time.
No.
Like he used to be
And
known
he's
as.
not universal anymore. He's playing to an audience that is okay with what he did, and that's fine. But it's not like, you know, a lot of people before would have really been excited to see him, and now I just think it's less people.
Yeah, really. That's really what it is. It's less folks.
Right. Like this little rant will be I think the people who already don't like Tony Hinchcliffe probably will not like him more, but people who are super racist and excited that he would say something like that might like him more. I don't know.
I'm pretty indifferent. I guarantee you that the Joe Rogan fan base, though, some of them will be like, yeah, Tony, get him or whatever.
That shit. Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's why, like, because Rogan got in trouble recently for a vaccine comment.
Mm-hmm.
And people were upset, but in my head I was like, that's not who's listening to his show. Like,
yeah, people that are listening have already made up their mind.
Yeah, they don't care. I don't think it's, he's like developing his own supplements and shit. Like, it's just weird.
He's kind of like Alex Jones. He's like a mainstream Alex Jones almost.
Yeah, or just a different lane Alex Jones, because Alex Jones still has a lot of followers who are in that lane, and he also does. It's just
because Alex Jones is like full conspiracy crazy, but Joe Rogan's like, what if it was conspiracy crazy? Like he's just like, really I'm just asking questions. And here, then, buy my creatine.
Don't consider that like he smokes a lot of weed before he talks for 3 hours a day.
Yeah, like he's probably high as balls the whole time.
Yeah, of course he's not going to make it much sense. And there's no credibility to it either. Like he's a comedian, podcast host, and he hosted Fear Factor. Like there's not a whole lot of like medical degrees going on. Why would you take him seriously anyways? Like
also, if I had to host a podcast for 3 hours a day, I would also get a debilitating weed problem.
Oh, and then I would
absolutely. A problem though, at that point, everybody just gets high, has fun.
That's just his normal. Then I would always forget what I said too. You know what I mean? People would be like, "Oh, that thing you said," and I'd be like, "I don't know what thing."
We already forget what we say, and we don't record.
Oh, like right away. Yeah, absolutely. Oh man. So I think so getting canceled would be good because you could change up your shtick. You could take a break. You could the comeback, right? You could reemerge as something new. Mulaney all of a sudden,
or you just go live a normal life,
right? Or
if you're a celebrity, you can finally just get out and live a normal. We don't talk. Well, we talk about this one because it's the most famous case of it. But I think Rick Moranis, he left to go raise his kids. He quit Hollywood to go raise his kids.
Well, because his wife died.
His wife passed away.
Yeah.
But honestly, he even says, I think that his kids had a normal childhood because of that, which is awesome. Like, that's great.
Everybody's all worried about Richard Simmons, too. I'm like, maybe he just doesn't want to fucking talk.
Yeah. Like, maybe he's tired of doing aerobics. He just wants to chill, you know?
Yeah. Maybe he wants to chub up every once in a while.
Do you want to take this quiz? Do you want to chub up and take this quiz with me?
Yes.
All right. So this one is ridiculous. This is you buy food items at 7-Eleven and it guesses your inner age.
I love 7-Eleven.
Me too. So the first hot food you pick is a taquitos, chicken sandwich, nachos, or mini tacos.
Oh, shit.
Out of those four, what are you going to do, you think?
Okay, specifically at 7-Eleven, I have to
Specifically 7-Eleven.
I have thought many a time about buying a sandwich there, but I would not. I like anything on the roller, so I'm going to go with taquito.
All right, I'm going to go with the mini tacos.
Nice. Oh.
Pick some more food. Chicken strips, breakfast empanadas, pizza, or a stuffed Pillsbury waffle.
Whoa, that's interesting. I'm going to go with chicken strips.
Good. I'm going to go pizza.
I've had chicken wings there before.
Ooh, I'm sure. I think I've had their wings too. They're not bad. All right, pick a pastry: donut, blueberry muffin, apple fritter, or chocolate chunk cookie.
I have been craving donuts lately so badly.
I
should
would
go
fuck up an apple fritter. I love
apple fritters are dope.
So good. All right, pick some chips. Get a little fruit in there. Get a little fruit in there, would ya? Pick some chips: Chex Mix, Cheeto Puffs, Takis, or Lay's barbecue.
You go first on this one.
I think I want Lay's barbecue.
Okay. I'm stuck between Takis because I like a hot chip or Chex Mix. I like a variety, you know. I'm going to go with Chex Mix just because it's close to, I get Gardettos a lot.
Oh, yeah, nice. Pick another bag of chips: Lay's Limon, Ruffles, Flamin' Hot Cheetos, or Funyuns.
Oh, Funyuns.
Okay, I'm going to go plain
Like
Ruffles.
a hot Funyun. Though.
A hot Funyun. Pick some
Hot
candy:
Funyun.
Gummy Peach Rings, Sour Patch Kids, Kit Kat, or Twix.
What a random.
I know exactly what I want.
You pick what you want.
Gummy Peach Rings.
Those
Hands
are
down.
great. I'm gonna go
Hands
Twix. That's
down.
my. I don't like I don't like sweets very often, but when I do, chocolate usually first, and then a gummy. So I'm gonna go with the Twix. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Ooh.
Pick a Slurpee: cherry, pina colada, blues raspberry, or cola.
You can't mix them together.
Yeah, that is kind of bullshit. They don't have a mixing option.
Because normally I would mix a cherry and a cola. I like a cherry Coke. You know.
I like a chicken cherry cola.
What are you gonna pick?
Blue raspberry. I'm a heathen.
Okay, I'm going cherry.
Pick another snack: Skinny
Ooh.
Pop popcorn. You got the Skinny Pop, Terra sweet potato chips, a Cliff Bar, or Hippies
Is this supposed to
chickpea
be?
puffs. I guess it's healthy. I don't know.
I guess so.
All I feel from this whole list is dry. You want some dry snacks? These are really
Right, yeah.
dry.
I'm gonna go. I'll go with the chickpea puffs actually because I've had some good ones.
I like Skinny Pop. I like popcorn. I'm not ashamed of it. Pick some ice cream: mint cookies and cream, double cookie dough, strawberry banana shortcake, or sea salt caramel. These are all 7-Eleven brand also, which is important.
Oh,
to know.
nice double cookie dough.
I'm going to go with sea salt caramel.
They have a 7-Eleven meat stick, and that hasn't been on here at all, and I'm upset.
That is kind of a bummer. All right. Now, the last one is you pick an extra. There's soda, coffee, gum, or Werther's caramels. I'm
What? Who's picking that? I'm gonna go with soda.
going to go coffee. All right.
Oh, I don't even remember what we were trying to find
This
out.
is your inner age.
Okay.
So my inner age is
Shit.
36. Mentally, you're in your late 30s. You're mature, and you definitely consider yourself a realist, though you prefer going out to brunch. You know that sometimes there's nothing better than some convenience store taquitos. I never
Fuck yeah.
picked taquitos.
But still, they're just
They know me. All right, what did you get?
17.
That's what I got the first time I took this quiz.
Really?
Okay,
Yeah. Mentally, you're a teenager. You're funny. Shut up. You're funny and you know all about the latest trends. You're always down to sip on a Slurpee while chilling in the park with your friends.
I love how it's chilling in the park. It should be chilling in the parking lot because that's
Yeah.
what people do.
Chilling at the Jack in the Box parking lot with
Yeah.
stuff you bought at 7-Eleven.
That's right. All right, Monica, what charity do we have today?
Oh, yes. We're going to do the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, which is just lls.org. But like I mentioned, I'm doing a fundraiser for them this Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific. The information and tickets will be on my website, monicanevy.com. Go to the calendar. And it goes, if you don't know, their blood cancers, it goes to a lot of research and things like that. And actually, they've done some really, really good things. This is an organization I've supported for years, and a lot of my merch money has gone to them. And it affects my family very, very specifically. I have a cousin who actually is still going through treatments. And so it would mean a lot to me if you're at home and you can participate, come watch some comedy. And they have some other like presentation type stuff during it too, but I'll be doing the jokes, and then you can donate and feel good about helping other people.
Excellent. What a great episode. Monica, what do you want us to listen to before we go?
Oh, I love you so much.